Hello everyone, Josh here with Gacha Legends, and today we're going to be talking about Eroica and some of the things that the game really needs to work on to improve the game's overall experience and longevity, because there's might be a few things that you guys and gals might not have realized yet. You might not be far enough in the game, maybe you've not hit any of these walls, maybe you just completely overlooked it or missed it altogether. Well, we're going to be going over quite a few different things. We're going to be bouncing around all over the game. We're going to be going in and out of different menus, so be ready for that. If you just want to sit back and listen, enjoy, that's great. Don't forget to thumbs up the video if you do agree with a lot of things, or maybe if you have some other ideas and suggestions that you want to throw my way, or even some things you might disagree with, let me know in the comments section below. Now, the one big thing that I want to talk about right off the bat, and that is the word recycle. Recycle. Let's kind of just talk about what that means. That means reusing something. They do that quite a bit in this game, and it is very unfortunate. You'll notice that in the first 4 chapters of story, which are currently the only chapters available right now, that you'll be going through certain stages multiple times over and over and over and over and over to complete subquests. They are recycling those chapters and those stages to kind of save on how much content they need, that they actually need to release. And it is a very clever strategy, but you know, your boy right here, we ain't gonna overlook it. We know exactly what they're doing. It's a save on, it's basically to allow them to stall for more time, if you will, for later content by being able to just take one whole chapter and make you spend several hours in it, by making you go back and do repeated stages to clear certain little quests. Now, the quests are very rewarding, so it makes up for it. If the quests were not rewarding, that would be a major issue. But I don't want to, you know, allow that to be overlooked, because that's definitely a big point, because that's not the only thing that's being recycled in this game. Hero banners are being recycled. Crucible bosses are being recycled instead of put on a proper rotation. They're just doing a lot of recycling, and I do not like that. I want to see new, fresh, creative content. I want to see new chapters. I want to see new heroes. I want to see just new things, period. Because a lot of you may not know this yet, but this game has been in a soft launch without a data wipe for 18 months. February 2021, this game released in its soft launch. So it's been out to the public, you know, maybe limitedly, or limited, I don't even know if that's a word. If it isn't, it is now, for 18 months. So for those of you who got in and played early and have been playing, even if you took long breaks and came back, you're well aware of how much this game likes to recycle things. But we are now in global launch. It is time for things to be changed and time for things to kind of be a bit sped up. I feel like they've had plenty of time to start building up and creating new content. There's no excuse for it. And yes, you could throw out the argument, well, they need to make a bunch of money. They need to make some funding for this game to release new content. Here's the thing though. If you want me to invest into a product, the product has to be worth my investment. If you're going to keep giving me the same song and dance and just recycle old goods and then try to sell those to me as new, I'm not going to want to invest my time nor my money into your product. And that is just how the real world works. So they definitely need to work on that. I mean, we are now on day 8 or 9, I believe, of global launch, and we haven't even had a new patch note update. So I just kind of want to throw that out there. And in case you guys don't believe me, even if you're a global only player, check this out. If you go to the current banners, you'll notice that both the banner units are units that were already available in the game. Malavi was already there, Ekaterina was already there, and Wraith was already there. Even from a global perspective, these units are being recycled. And the banner that we had before that was Kip and Noah, again, units already available in the game, and Sylvia. Now, let's talk about another issue. Let's get right into Sylvia. Speaking of Sylvia, Sylvia right now is probably one of the most, if not the most worthless units in the entire game, even though she should be one of the top units in the game, because for whatever reason, They just have not fixed her yet, and we've told them countless amounts of times. We've told them for the past 2 weeks straight, Sylvia needs fixed. She is broken. They even acknowledged that they would fix her before the global launch, and here we are, you know, a week passed on global launch, and she's still broken. And if we go here, our girl Sylvia, she's down here. She looks really cool. She's a cool looking character, and she's a dark hero. I already made mine 5-star because I went in still in soft launch a few days before global, because this banner actually ran through the end of soft launch into global. They didn't even change the banner for global launch, crazy enough. And she's still broken, and we didn't know she was broken at the time we summoned, and we went in hard with our gems and our pickup tickets to get her to 5-star because her kit looked very, very good. And one of the biggest aspects of her kit was that she could do additional bonus damage based on her max HP, which would make her a DPS tank, and those are very rare to come by, especially when they're a dark or light unit. So the opportunity presented itself, and of course we all jumped on it, expecting to have a quality and amazing new unit. And unfortunately, none of that has been the case. And I don't want to gloat, but I was one of the first people to realize there was an issue with her damage numbers, and they were not reflecting her max HP at all. And I did several tests. I had other people who pulled her test her out as well. We tried to put certain types of gear on there to see maybe that the descriptions were wrong or whatever. And no, she indeed has an issue. And the biggest issue is here, if you look at her skill, for example, you know, ignore the percentages because obviously this skill isn't completely maxed out, but deals 70% of attack and 30% of max HP to an enemy with lower HP than her, which means she should be hitting extremely hard in PvP, even up in higher end PvP, like very hard. Deals 70% of attack and 10% of max HP to an enemy who has the same or more HP than her. Now, if you choose beta for her upgrade, boost damage equal to 10% of max HP to a target with the same or higher HP. That means that she should be doing at least 20% bonus damage of her max HP to anything that has the same amount of HP as her or higher, which means she should be very good on PvE content, for farming, for bosses like Crucible, for Tower. And guess what, guys and gals? She just does not perform at all. She's doing hundreds of bonus damage instead of thousands. So there is clearly an issue there, and it has yet to still be fixed. So it's just the company is not seemingly taking responsibility for having a completely broken unit, yet still expecting people to summon on her. And by the way, we've already said this once, we're going to say it again. She was the global launch banner. So many people put their hard-earned gems into summoning for her because they also probably thought she was cool looking, she had a cool kit, and she could be a great tank for them with DPS. And that is not the case. And some of you may not have even noticed yet, but if you look now and you look at her max HP, you're going to realize there's an issue. So I have no idea when they're going to fix that, and that is a major problem for me. That's a major red flag, and I do not like that, because to me that almost is essentially a scam, because you're asking people to summon for a unit based on what her abilities are supposed to be as written, and they don't work. And then you've had 2 weeks to fix the issue, and it's still not fixed. Now there are other units in the game that have that same issue, like Sai on his skill 1. He's supposed to scale with his max defense, doesn't work. Okay, so that's just another quick little example of another unit that a lot of you probably use. Now, thankfully, you don't have to pull for Sai. He's completely free to play, and you can 5-star him for free through story. So that's not as big of a deal, but still, it's just another example of, you know, this company, for whatever reason, just not being on top of things. And it's not a good look, and it's not going to go past me, and I'm not going to let it slide. You all know how I am here on the channel. If we play a game and we care about the game, we want to see it succeed, we will deep dive in there, and we will discuss everything, good and bad. And I still greatly love this game. I want to keep playing this game long term. This is a really fun game. especially if you've, were like me and we played Epic 7 in the past and I enjoyed that game as well. Playing something like this that's a bit similar, but new and fresh, I want to see these things change. Now, another big issue that a lot of you probably have ran into, or at least starting to run into, is you're probably running out of passports. Passports are a major crutch in this game. You summon a new unit, it's a 1-star or a 2-star or a 3-star, you get very excited, you want to build that unit up, but then you realize, oh my god, I can't even build this unit because I have no passports. And there's only select few ways to get passports in this game, and most of them are first-time clear rewards from places like Naya Dungeon, which will give you a nice chunk, but those are one-time only. So the most reliable and consistent way to get passports, unfortunately, is summoning. But you will realize when you get to endgame like where I am at now, you will run into a gem drought, because you're going to be basically relying on weekly PvP and bi-weekly or monthly Crucible rewards to kind of make up for the majority of your gems. But that's not going to really do you any good, especially as a free-to-play. And a good example is, go back and watch my 21 multi-summon video that I just did a day or two ago after recording of this video, where I was pulling for Wraith and Ekaterina. We did 21 multis. And we did not even hit 900 passports. And you're thinking, well, I mean, isn't 900 a lot? You would think so. But let me show you something, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go into hero. Let's go to a 3-star hero, a natural 3-star. We'll start with a 3-star. All right, we want to ascend him. We want to take him to 4-star. He's going to need 150 shards. After you get him to 4-star, we'll go to a 4-star hero. Yeah, we'll use Soar. You go to a 4-star hero, you'll need 200 additional shards. That means from 3-star to 5-star, you're going to need 350 shards. That's going to cost you 1,650 passports, and that's if you've never bought any shards for that unit before in the shop, the Emil shop. Because it starts out, the first 10 shards will cost you 10, and then, because it'll be a 1-for-1, and then the next 10 will be a 2-for-1, and then it'll be a 3-for-1, and then a 4-for-1, and then the ratio will be very bad, and it'll be a permanent 5-for-1 for the rest of your remaining shard cost for that character. In total, it will cost you 1,650 passports to take one 3-star to a 5-star. And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, when you get the mid to end game, you need your units to be 5-star, level 60, because then you get all their ascension passives for their skills and for their stats, and you're going to need those. And then if you want to try and go into PvP, they're going to be needed even more. So you need to do all that. And that is very unfortunate, because I don't see how that's going to work long-term free to play, because now, if they start to actually release new units that power creep or change the meta or whatever, it's just going to be extremely difficult for any player outside of like huge whales that are paying the full price, because when you buy up all the good packs and then you just go to buy the full price pellets, it's not a good value. I'm being honest here. The value for a full pellet pack is not good. Let me show you real quick. Let's go to the shop. Go to the shop. Go all the way down here to the pellet pack. The normal ones. 1,000 pellets with a bonus 650, even with the bonus, $85. That is not good value. They're pricing a single summon at $2.50. Now, a single summon for a unit in some other games holds more value than in this game, because a single summon in this game could give you 1 passport. 1. Because you might pull a 1-star hero, and 1-star heroes give you 1 passport. A 2-star will give you 10, which still is not that great in value. And a 3-star hero, if you get lucky to pull it on a single, will give you 50 if you pull a dupe. 50. That's the equivalent, if you're at max ratio in the Emil shop, that's the equivalent of 10 shards. You need 350 to get that 3-star to a 5-star. Now, there are a few other little methods in the game that can give you shards, like your carriage and stuff. Even though this says it drops to 50%, it's more like probably 10%, because I've done so much in the carriage that I should have gotten way more shards at 50%. The laws of probability are not in this game's favor. I don't know why it says 50%. It's clearly not. But anyways, so there are a few other ways. I mean, there's other additional shops. Like if we go in here to the Emil shop, you know, this is where you buy your shards with your passports. You have your Medal of Victory. You can come in here and you can buy a few different shards for some of these units. You know, 5 here, 5 there. But again, you know, it's going to cost you a ton of resources, a ton of time, and a lot of it is not going to be, again, on a free-to-play player side. It is going to be a very long, drawn-out grind just to build up one new unit that you pull. And it really takes away from the fact that this game is supposed to be a hero collector because it's a gacha. Characters are definitely its main focus. Building teams is its main focus. It's a hero collector, but when you pull a new hero, it's not going to be that enjoyable because that hero is going to be sitting in your bench for potentially several months. You know, weeks and weeks and weeks of just sitting there as you slow build it. And then by the time you finally get it built up enough to make it usable, it might be power crept by a whole new unit that you might as well not even touch because you know what's going to happen. You're not going to have the resources to build it up because a lot of work goes into these things. You have Medal of Courage as well, going to Cap Paw. You know, you have a few little ways here and there. If you are at endgame, you can, of course, you know, try and get a few of those throughout the week, every week. But again, it's still going to be a long process. And we didn't even talk about 1 and 2 star heroes. There are some powerful 1 and 2 star heroes out there in the game. Good luck bringing a 2-star hero all the way up to 5-star, because not only do you need 350 to get from 3 to 5-star, you're going to need an additional 120 shards to get that 2-star to a 3-star. So again, good luck. The odds are not in your favor. It's unbearable and it's unreasonable. I mean, it's okay to have the game have a balance of, you know, whales and free to plays, and then in the middle there you got the casual spenders. But I feel like the game seems very open and generous for the first week, you know, that honeymoon period. But after that, you start to see a huge decline. It's almost like you saw a beautiful landscape and it's just littered with forests. Birds are chirping. Just, you know, it just looks beautiful. And then you just keep walking and you just enjoy everything that you see. And then next thing you know, you're falling to your death because you just walked off a cliff. Because that's what this game will do to you after the first week or two. You will feel like you just fell right off of a cliff. Because it'll hit you hard. Your gold will be gone. Your resources will be gone. Your gems will be gone. You'll have maybe 2 to 3 units potentially somewhat built up. And you haven't even gotten into good gear yet. We haven't even gotten into good gear because good gear is going to cost you tons of gold. Building up pre-core EXP is going to take tons of gold. Awakening your characters and doing your skill ups. Doing EXP potions. Why does that take gold? Why does EXP potions take freaking gold? Why? Why am I spending gold to level up a character with EXP potions that I've already farmed? That you have to use stamina for or a currency for or whatever to obtain. Why am I being double dipped left and right? Why? You have to pay to awaken your gear. You want to get it to a 1-star, a 2-star, a 3-star, a 4-star. That's going to take forever. Why do I feel like I'm being punished for doing what I'm supposed to do? Because I'm being double dipped. They want you to craft gear. Let's talk about that for a moment. The craft gear is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. You want to craft gear? Check this out. Let's craft some gear. Let's craft some gear. We want a T5 gear? Okay. You want to talk about double dipping? You want to talk about something that's absolutely freaking ridiculous? This is how they want you to start farming up your T5 gear so you can start making dupes, so you can start awakening it or trying to get better gear, etc. They want you to not only have multiple materials, pay a gold cost. If you want to speed it up, you got to pay gems. They also want you to sit there and wait for 4 freaking hours. And guess what? It gets better. The gear isn't even guaranteed to be an epic gear. It could be a purple gear. Guess what gear is used in this game? Red. Is any other gear used? No. And let me show you why. Let me show you. Let's kind of transition into another issue. And we're going to get back to gold in a minute. So I did a test. I wanted to try something. So purple gear can only go to plus 15. It can't even go to level 20 like red gear. Okay. Now, in most games, all gear is usable at some point, right? Like it doesn't always have to be the legendary gear or the epic gear. You can still run purple gear. It might not have all the substats immediately, or maybe it doesn't get full substats, but it might have the substats that you need. And the main stat should be on par with the other grades of the gear, because as long as it's in the same tier, the main stat should be the same, right? Completely wrong, because check this out. Max speed on this T6 heroic gear is 146. 146 on a T6, right? T6 146. Now if we go to a red one, let's see if I can find a red necklace here. Let's just isolate necklaces. All right, let's go to this one here. That's defense. We need to find one that gives us, I don't think I have one actually. I need another necklace because these ones are going to all be defense. So that's not going to be a great example. Let me try and find something here. Okay. I mean, I guess we could compare it to a T5 red, right? So T6, 146 max. T5 would go to 178 max. So, and don't let the stars fool you. The max is 178 no matter what. Because look, I'll even do it on a 4-star piece. It's still 178. The 178 on a T5 red, T6 purple, T6, a whole other tier, is actually less. It's at 146. 146 versus 178. Why? Why? Why is purple gear useless in this game? And not only can it only go to 146 because, well, really you can only get it to level 15. You only have 3 substats to work with too. I leveled this piece up. I took a hit for the team to kind of just prove a fact here about gear. This costs about 340k to take this from level 0 to 15. I got this from the Night Tower, which is the most end game content right now available in the game outside of 311 Naya Dungeon, which isn't even really all that hard. You just need a bunch of teams. But in terms of like team versus team, like, you know, can you actually win? The hardest content right now available in this game is Night Tower. I'm currently on floor 36 of Night Tower, okay, which is the final floor. This is the kind of gear that you can farm from the higher up stages of Night Tower, T6 gear. T6 purple gear is absolutely freaking useless. And by the way, it costs 340k, right, to build that up. And you see that it's inferior to T5 epic gear that you can craft for 4k, or you can just farm from the level 4 dungeons. The hardest gear currently to farm up in the game from one location, which is very limited because you only get 3 runs per day unless you use gems to refresh your tries. And you have to be very, very powerful already with already souped up T5 gear to even get to that point. It's inferior to the damn red T5 gear. I'm sorry. I know I sound heated. I'm heated. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then if we want to sell it, let's sell this bad boy. We put 340k into it. How much is this bad boy worth? T6 epic level 15. Come on, man. We're getting at least 30, 40k, right? $1,800 or 1,800 coins. 1,800 gold coins. 1,800. How much is a T6 red going to give me? It's got to be at least double that. Almost, but not so much. And the fact that I would even expect double this, which is already ridiculous, is sad in its own right. It's sad. It is sad. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. The gear, one of the big aspects that drew me in was I was told that the gear system in this game was better than Epic 7. BS. Absolute BS. Because at least in Epic 7, I could have used other grades of gear. I can't even do that in this. I can't even do it in here. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So it's like selling gear isn't even a viable option. If you invest into a lot of pieces, you might as well just use those pieces as either ascensions or as, you know, EXP for other pieces of gear, because selling them, it just isn't worth it. It is not worth it. And that brings us to really the gold issue. Gold is a severe issue in this game. Like, let me go to my pre-core, for example. Let's go to this one. Go to our enhance here for our legendary gladiator. This is level 47. I'm not gonna, of course, use SSRs, but I just want to give you guys an example of how much this stuff costs. Okay, we're just gonna start popping these in here. Okay, just to go up 2 levels, it's gonna cost me almost 179,000 gold for just 2 levels. And you got to think, I had to take this thing from level 1 all the way up to 40, and I had to awaken it 4 times, which also costs gold. That is for 1 SSR core. And that's going to be the same for SR cores as well. You know, and we've already kind of discussed how, like, if you want to level up a hero, you go in here and, let's see here. Who do we have that's not quite 60 yet? Our Guardian Sai. If we want to level him up, look, it's going to cost us gold when we feed in EXP potions. Now, I don't have any available because I already fed them into him earlier. But yeah, that's going to cost you gold. You want to skill him up? Hey, let's skill him up, man. No problem. 10,000 gold, and it's going to go to 20, then 30, 40. I mean, it gets absolutely outrageous. Everything in this game is gold, 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 gold. You want to do your runes? You want to get these bad boys maxed out? That's going to cost you a few 100K of gold right there. And again, this is all just being invested into 1 unit. And there's no proper way to get gold in this game because you have your daily dungeons, which can go up to, you know, stage 6 right now if you put all your orange orbs into the gold dungeon instead of the EXP potion dungeon. That's still only going to give you like 150 or whatever K a day. You know, just kind of spitballing, but I think it's somewhere around that margin. You're going to get that. You could go in and farm the gear dungeon to get more gear, which you're going to need. You're going to get about 20K every 100, 120 stamina. And that's going to be, you might be able to do that twice a day, 3 times tops. So that might be about another 50, 60K gold. You could buy some from here, from the exchange shop. You can go into the exchange. You could buy the one-time daily gold chest 1, which will give you anywhere between 50 and 100K. There's that. I don't know why that even has a range on it. It should just be a static number. So you have limited ways to get gold, and you need millions. Because just for an example, to take a T6 red gear from 0 to 20, it's going to cost you about 700,000 gold. And that's not including awaken it to a 1-star, 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star. That's not including if the gear just rolls bad and it becomes trash. Because since this game doesn't do the usual, you know, level up to 3, level up to 6, level up to 9, level up to 15 to get the substat you want it to go into, like most games do, this one does it by small little increments and percentages that also has a freaking min-max on it. So it's even RNG. Even the upgrade number itself is RNG. So you might be putting 340,000, or I'm sorry, 300 or 400,000 gold into a piece of gear before you even realize that it's bad. And can you sell it to get half that back or even a quarter of that? No, you can't. It's gone. But guess what you can do? You can feed it into another piece of gear to level it up, and guess what it'll cost you? More freaking gold. Gold, gold, gold. One of the biggest bottlenecks in this game, gold. You need millions of it, and you just can't get it. For the low, low price of 300 gems, you can go get yourself 1 million. You can go get 1 million gold for 300 gems, the cost of a multi. Or you can use that multi to go ahead and try and pull for freaking, if you're lucky, 50 passports, which is good for goddamn 10 shards. Like, I just don't know what to say. And I love this game. I want to see it do better. You can hear the passion in my voice. I'm angry because I care. And I did not want to have to make this video, but I've been sitting in there in the Discord listening to some people like just trying to be apologists or just trying to defend the ongoings that are occurring. And I don't know why. I don't understand. You would think that you would want to get this game on track and you'd want it to do well. You'd want it to bring in some more revenue. You'd want it to be more popular, more people play, more people watching it, you know, and it's just not happening. In the current state this game is in, it is not happening. So I wanted to make one video. I wanted to be super passionate about some of the things that I feel is just wrong with this game. Gold, passports, lack of content, lack of direction, fixes that need to be made immediately. They needed to be made yesterday. Putting priority in carriage, which is just a micromanaging pain in the ass that you have to sit there and tinker with multiple times a day. It is not enjoyable. Why was that even made? The old carriage system was 10 times better because you only had to go and click a button once or twice a day, collect your coins and move on, because it wasn't supposed to be an important aspect of the game. Now they made it a chore. It's like a whole mini game itself, but it's not enjoyable. We need new heroes. We need new chapters. We need new ways to get gems. We need a more of a balanced structure for free-to-plays and whales. We need guilds. We need guild wars. We need just more things to do, more ways to earn rewards, and we need to start upping some of the you know, stuff that we can get. Like, we need to be able to sell gear for at least 15-20% of value of whatever we invested into it. I mean, it's ridiculous when I put 340k into a piece of gear and I'm getting 1800 back. That's a slap in the face. That's a joke. When everything in this game is behind a gold, you know, I don't want to say paywall, but it almost feels like that when you get to late game, because your goal is gone. So guys and gals, enjoy the 2, 3, 4 million gold that you get from story when you're going through all your quests, because when that's gone, it is gone. And then you will have to play the long grind of just slowly accumulating some gold. And then when you go to invest into one piece of gear and it goes sideways, it's all gone. And then you're back to square one with no progress. Things need to be changed. Some of the things in this game do not make any sense. They're illogical. They don't represent the game well. They don't put it in a good light. The fact that Crucible is a light boss again and it's not on rotation with the other elements. Like, I was hearing people say, well, Dark's not out yet. Who cares if they didn't make a Dark boss for Crucible yet? Go to the other elements. Go to grass. You know, go to water. Go to fire. Put it on a rotation. Don't keep recycling things over and over. The game will get stale, boring, and people will just leave. I'm trying to help this game succeed. Somebody had to raise their voice on the platform that they have available and make these things known. Because I just don't know how many people even know these are issues yet. Some of you may have already found out about them. And I'm here to tell you, I'm a voice for it because I want to see change. I enjoy the game. But I'm also a critic. A very hard critic, and I'm not going to give people leeway. I've been a part of the game dev world. I know how it is. I know how cutthroat it is. I know how hard it could be back, behind closed doors, dealing with your boss, your producers, the art team complaining about the programming team, vice versa. I know how it goes. But there's no excuse for a game that's been in soft launch for 18 months to come out and give us this for global launch. The least they could have done was given us an apology for Sylvia, refunded all the gems that we've spent, let us keep her, and then still fixed her. They could have given us all the pre-registration rewards instead of just the 300k ones, which were just dog crap because it was just 1500 present summons, 15 present summons. And 150k gold, which is equal to nothing in this game. They could have done more. They should have done more. And I hope they do more. So I know this video was very on the nose, on the chin, wherever you want to take it, but I hope they take it as very constructive criticism. I hope they understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the place of someone who's been around the block with Gacha games a time or two, hundreds of times, in fact, for multiple years. And I just want to see these things improve. That's all I want to see at the end of the day. And there's a lot more other things I could go into, but we'd be here all day and all night. But those are just some of the more major things that I wanted to kind of throw out there. Now, there are other issues, of course. Some of them are more minor, though. But these were just some of the bigger ones that just kind of, you know, I just thought were worth sharing. So if you guys have any other, if you guys have any other suggestions or concerns, or if you disagree with anything I said, or you just want to have a nice discussion or whatever, make sure you go ahead and go down to the comment section below. You could also go ahead and join our Discord, which is in the description below as always. And that's going to be it for me. Again, I like the game. I want to play the game more. I just need to see improvement because this is not it. So anyways, I'll catch you on the next one. Until then, don't forget to subscribe to your notifications. Join us in the Discord in the description below. Like the video, share the video. Hopefully word gets around and it makes some big improvements. Maybe if more people voice their opinion and concerns, maybe they'll do something. We'll see. But yeah. Anyways, I'll catch y'all then. Until then, peace.